In the world where darkness can reach any e-commerce website, you can either run or face the demon with full force.
You shall not pass!
E-commerce websites store and process a lot of sensitive information such as customer and payment data. No wonder why they are such an attractive target for hackers. You can't ignore security whether you are a small e-commerce business or a top retailer in the USA. In fact, around 83 of top e-commerce businesses in the US are vulnerable to cyber attacks. Data breaches and hacker attacks can easily put your business out of the game. Hi, this is Vladimir, and today we'll discuss Magento security and the best security practices. We've dived into information into 3 blocks and you can easily navigate between them. Let's start with the basics. Magento system and website itself. The work on the security should start long before your website goes live. It should begin with the choosing of reliable hosting provider that addresses and adheres the security standards, that provides automatic website backups that you can use in case of any emergencies. For our clients, we recommend working with the tried and tested hosting providers such as DigitalOcean and Amazon Web Services. If you are starting a new site, consider launching it over HTTPS, a communication protocol encrypted with a transport layer security, formerly known as Security Sockets Layer. If you already have an e-commerce website, make sure to perform such changes as fast as possible. In fact, HTTPS is a must-have for any e-commerce website. It not only encrypts data exchange between the browsers and your server, but also helps to website rank higher. Google uses as a ranking factor. Visitors of the website without HTTPS will see and notice that the website is not secure to use. Adobe takes a huge part of security tasks. Magento store owners have access to the recently released Security Scan tool. It tells you if your website has any malware or potential weaknesses that might put your business at risk and notify when you need to update your Magento website. Always keep your Magento up to date with the latest security updates. Adobe regularly releases updates that address recently identified security threats and vulnerabilities. If you don't want to install the whole update, you can even install Magento security only patches.
When you think that you've protected your store, the most vicious enemies arrive. Only a hero can save you from them if you don't become your own Gandalf. So choose wisely, my friend.
Admin panel can become another entry point for hackers. If they get over one of the admin accounts, they will be able to control all of your business, have access to all information and even customer data. Such data breach will destroy your business and lead to hefty penalties. The last thing you want is for someone to take over your business. Luckily, there are a number of steps that you can take to prevent such situations, and Magento provides a lot of features out of the box. First of all, use the unique path to the admin panel. It's something simple, but not all e-commerce businesses remember to change the URL. Two-factor authentication will add an additional layer of protection, as hackers won't be able to hack into someone's accounts. For an extra level of security, you can add captcha to the admin sync and not forgot password page. It will protect your admin panel from bots attacks. If you know what IP addresses your admins have, add them to the whitelist. Any other connection won't be allowed to the admin panel. Assigning user permissions might be useful if a lot of people work with the admin panel. For example, those who work with the content don't need to have access to the sales information, and you can specify what blocks of the website they have access to. Magento also allows setting up the security level of passwords to avoid password mining. You can also limit the number of login attempts, configure the length of the keyboard inactivity before the session expires, and even set up the length of session duration. And most importantly, don't allow admin panel sharing. In Magento, this option is disabled by default, but won't harm to check it. Going through all these steps and enabling the mentioned protection protocols will make sure that no hacker will be able to sneak into your website.
You might think that you're ready to meet your enemies, until an enemy decides to knock on your front door. And not one enemy but thousands of them at the same time. Frightening, right? Unless you take the necessary precautions that will scare the bots away.
Hackers can harm your website even without hacking into the code. All they have to do is to create an army of bots and send them to checkout page, and the consequences might be dire for e-commerce businesses. For example, during carding attacks, hackers can use stolen cards and make thousands of attempts trying to guess a CV or passwords. Banks and other payment systems process every transactions even if they fail. In the best case scenario, the payment system will notice suspicious actions and block your seller account. Passing the assessment process to reinstall their services might be challenging. But in the worst case scenario, you will wake up one morning and find out that the bank had charged you with the processing of all these failed transactions. It may cost your business hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's not just an example but a real case. That's why protecting user accounts and checking is so important. First of all, install reCAPTCHA that will show when customers are trying to log into their account. It will protect your website from bots and the hack passwords. If you're afraid that it might harm user experience, consider adding Google reCAPTCHA, which Magento supports. reCAPTCHA can be invisible for customers as it's used algorithms to rate user interactions and determine the likelihood that the user is human being based on a score. You can also add Magento reCAPTCHA that will only show up after customers enter a wrong password. Installing a web application firewall will help you to keep your whole store guarded against DDoS attacks. Magento provides fast integration out of the box. The solution combines a number of features such as protection against the DDoS attacks, a CDN, and image optimization. You can use Fastly to block the traffic by country or region. For example, if you know that bots are attacking your website from a particular location. Websites on Adobe Commerce Cloud must use Fastly to be PCI compliant. You can also use Cloudflare for some purposes or go even further and use the Sucuri tool. Magento security is not only a matter of website security, it's a matter of your business welfare. Don't forget to make regular security audits to identify any vulnerabilities before hackers notice them first. Have we missed any important Magento security techniques? Don't be shy to share them in the comments under the video. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for new videos. Bye.